What's up, everybody? This is Trey Abear, co-founder of Real Ball Talk, with my other co-founders, Brett Ashley and Webb Watkins, and alongside our guest star, Noel Wiggs. And it is April 22nd, 2020. We're less than 24 hours away from the NFL draft. And
we're even closer to the draft now than we were an hour ago when we did this the first time, and Trey forgot to press record.
So that happened. If
we seem a little annoyed with Trey, stick with us. We're just a little frustrated because we used all our brain power over the past hour for nothing. Whatsoever. So we're going to try our best here. Okay.
All right.
I'm not saying we hate Trey, but at this moment we hate Trey.
So at this point, this is take number 2, but this is we're doing it for you, the people. This is our first podcast for Real Ball Talk. And as they mentioned, yes, it is partially my fault, partially technology's fault. But we're all sitting here in quarantine without sports, and we're ready to do this thing. So first overall pick, across the board, everyone's got Hollywood Joe Burrow from LSU. Can everybody agree with that?
I can agree with that.
I think everyone can agree with that, Trey.
Yeah, so Joe Burrow, man, just one of the most unreal college football seasons we've ever seen. I feel like on the offensive side of the ball, he was insane, and we've never seen anything like it. But we've also never seen anything on the other side of the ball like we've seen Chase Young. So number 2, I've got the Redskins taking Chase Young at Ohio State. So,
good question. So, what % chance do you give Joe Burrow of being a bust?
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, that's a good question. I'm going to go 15% or less.
I would put it around 15 as well. That sounds reasonable to me. Now, wait, define. Are we saying like Mitch Trubisky bust? Good for 5 years, but never does anything.
All right, and so is this going to be a podcast where, like many others, is this going to be a podcast like many others where we just make fun of Mitch Trubisky the whole time? Because I'd be okay with that.
I would also be okay with that.
I mean, what's there not to make fun of him about? He's terrible.
Yeah.
I think we should maybe go easy on him. He's kind of got the whole world right now.
Oh, man. Chicago Bears need some help, and unfortunately, they don't have a pick in this draft. So,
also, unfortunately, Nick Foles is definitely not the help they need as much as they think he is.
But do you really think the Bears fans think that Nick Foles is going to be the savior in Chicago?
If they make the playoffs, he'll be the savior. But if they're not in the playoffs, he's going to play like crap like he always does. Somehow Nick Foles becomes Tom Brady in the playoffs. It doesn't make sense. He turns it on.
I'm going to pick number 2.
Yeah, so I already said it, but Chase Young out of Ohio State, pass rusher. This guy's just unreal. He's fast. His ability to just cause chaos in the backfield is something I've never really seen before.
It's big chaos back there.
Yeah, and with number 3, I think the Lions, they lost Darius Slay to the Eagles, and I just think that solidifies Jeff Okudah at number 3, cornerback from Ohio State. So,
Rip Kevin Johnson.
Yeah. Oh, Webb and Brett, who do y'all have at number 3?
At number 3, unlike most people, I think the Lions are just an absolutely terrible franchise. I think they make bad pick after bad pick. So while they could definitely take Jeff Okudah and get help with him, I think they also have a strong history of drafting defensive linemen in the first round. Nick Fairley, the Dominic McSue. So I think they're going to take Derek Brown. And I don't think it's going to work out, but I think they're going to take him with a 3rd pick.
It's a reasonable accusation, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've had their eyes on Okudah for a while, and I think that's going to happen. But speaking of, it's weird. Webb brought up Nick Fairley. What happened to that guy?
He was a bust.
I haven't heard his name since he played for the Saints in 2015.
And you on the Rams now?
I don't know if he's on a roster.
Never mind, I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me.
Ndamukong Suh's on the Buccaneers.
He was on the Rams.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think the Lions are as bad as it gets. Two best players in the history of the franchise quit football in their prime. Pretty depressing stuff. So I feel like that's the big three of this year's draft. But number 4, I've got the Giants taking Jedrick Wills, offensive tackle out of Alabama. I just think that Daniel Jones needs some help back there. I think the offensive line is pretty embarrassing. It's about as bad as it gets. Boys, what are your thoughts on that?
I could see that, but I also could see them taking Isaiah Simmons.
Wait, are we talking about the Giants here? I'm sorry.
Talking about Giants 4-hole web.
Yeah, I've got him taking Andrew Thomas from Georgia.
Yeah, go ahead.
They've got a bunch of options available. They'll either take an offensive tackle or Isaiah Simmons. It's going to be that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, in my first mock, I had them going with Thomas, but I just think Jedrick Wills' stock has gone up a lot in the past couple days and in the past week of the draft. And him being from Bama sets up the 5th pick. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to go with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. The throw-in Samoan, the Hawaiian.
Josh Rosen back there.
The throwing Samoan, the Hawaiian punch, whatever you want to call him, man. He's one of the most beautiful passers I've ever seen. The dude can throw the football. Greatest quarterback to ever come out of Alabama. No doubt about it.
Is it still recording?
Yeah, we're still going.
Thank goodness.
We're doing good this time around.
We talked about this last time, but Alabama's not had a lot of success with quarterbacks out of the draft. A.J. McCarron, Greg McElroy, not been big names.
Yeah.
Joe Namath is the only one who's ever done anything.
I feel like Tua is going to turn that around. I think Tua just runs laps around those guys. Tua, I feel like Alabama has spread it out more with Tua than they ever have. Alabama used to be just run the hell out of the football, just run it down their throat with guys like Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram and Sean Alexander way back in the 2000s. But with Tua, they've been airing it out and they've had some success, and I think Tua is going to break that trend that Noel's talking about. And going into number 6, the LA Chargers. That's going to have to. I know it happened last year, but it's still weird saying the LA Chargers. I have them taking quarterback Justin Herbert out of Oregon.
Agreed.
Watching the guy last year, he never really blew me away. I watched the whole Auburn game, and I never really understood the hype around this guy. But I think he's a pretty good, solid prospect. His size is pretty good. He's got a good arm.
Very good draft.
Yeah,
he has a good draft stock
for sure. I'm just a little worried about his production in college.
That's a fair thing to be worried about.
Yeah. And so to 7, Carolina Panthers trying to make some more noise in the NFC South. Yesterday, Rob Gronkowski signs with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And let's talk about the Buccaneers for a second. Do the Buccaneers scare you guys? Why or why not?
3rd place.
I agree.
Overhyped.
Yeah.
They might finish 2nd, but that's their top.
I don't know, dude. I feel like the Panthers would probably.
I'm just saying the best they could finish is 2nd. Their defense is just too bad for them to finish anything better than that.
I think it'll definitely be a battle for the 2 seed in the NFC South, but I feel like it's just a lock with the Saints.
Yeah, I'd say it's a lock too. I think a lot would have to go wrong. We always seem to blow one of those division games that we shouldn't. Like last year, we lost to a very bad Falcons team in the Dome.
That was a Thursday night game. I could have thrown many things at the television.
Yeah, that was not good at all. And I just think the Panthers. I think they're gonna take Derek Brown, interior defense lineman out of Auburn. I think they're gonna try to make some adjustments on the D line, and they've got to fill some holes everywhere, but really mainly on defense. Christian McCaffrey's insane, and they need some help on the other side of the ball.
Now, sticking with the Panthers, do you think Teddy Bridgewater will have the same success he had last season with the Saints?
I don't.
I don't either.
I don't. I think Teddy was in a great system with some really good weapons. And, when you go over to Carolina, a team that's struggling a lot, the offense is really different. And I think he's going to struggle a little bit.
Teddy's going to be very different without Sean Payton.
I think that one reason why we went 5-0 during that time was because our defense played lights out during those 5 games, and I don't think Teddy Bridgewater was the reason we won.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But you got to give him credit where credit's due, but I don't think he is necessarily the reason we went 5-0.
And then Noel said how he doesn't have Sean Payton. How do you feel about Matt Rule from the old Baylor coach?
It's a big-time hire. I think a lot of people are excited about it, and it's going to, he's a air-it-out kind of guy, and it makes you think, is Christian McCaffrey's production going to be altered any?
Yeah, I mean, they signed
and Teddy's not really an air-it-out quarterback.
Yeah, but they did sign Robbie Anderson, who, in all honesty, I feel like he's a deep threat guy more than anything.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I feel like it'll be an interesting season from them, but I can't see them winning the division.
No.
At all.
I can't see them coming in anywhere but last, honestly, unless the Falcons just do what the Falcons do and choke.
Yeah. Falcons will be questionable this season.
Yeah. They lost Matt Hooper to the Browns, but they did get Todd Gurley, and they've got, on paper, they're a really solid offense, but when are the Falcons not good on paper? I mean, they're always good on paper, from the Matt Ryan era to the Michael Vick era. Always good on paper, and they always find a way to blow it. So
that's just so true.
Right. I'm just not worried about the Atlanta Falcons at all. The Buccaneers offense is explosive, but I think it's ridiculous that people are just already crowning them as champions.
I mean, they have Chris Godwin's amazing. Mike Evans is great. But, I mean, you gotta consider the fact that Gronk hasn't been on the field in a year and a half.
And Tom Brady's 43 years old.
Tom Brady's 43. And their backup is, if Tom Brady does get injured, which he probably won't, their backup's, what's his face?
Well, technically, still Jameis Winston, but
he didn't resign. It's Blake Bortles, isn't it?
Really?
Somebody with some trash quarterback signed.
Bortles plays for the Rams.
Yeah.
Some trash somebody.
Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert.
Yo, Gabbert.
And I mean, Ronald Jones, was it the second or the third?
It's the third.
I mean, he had an okay year last year, but I mean, I don't think he's proven in any way either.
It's junior.
Yeah, they know who we're talking about.
It doesn't matter.
It did not matter. But I mean, I don't think he's proven in any way.
And speaking of unproven, is that on the other side of the ball is the Buccaneers defense. I mean, it's atrocious.
Laughing stock.
Yeah, I think best case for the Bucs, they finish about 10-6 in a wild card. If we're being generous.
Yeah.
Now, whose defense is worse, the Bucs or the Falcons?
Or the Panthers? They're all bad. We're all going to average 50 points. We're going to average 50 points in the division a game.
I think that 10-6 finish was a little generous. I feel like they'll go 500.
That's best case. 10-6 best case. Absolute best case. Everything falls in place. Gronkowski stays healthy. Unlikely.
Unlikely.
Most likely scenario for Gronk, he's down within the first quarter of the season with a torn shoulder or a torn leg or something terrible. It's a bust signing for trade. That's
Yeah.
most likely scenario for Gronk.
What draft pick are we on right now?
We're at 8 now. So I got the Arizona Cardinals at 8, taking Isaiah Simmons, outside linebacker out of Clemson. I just think this guy's really versatile. He can do it all. He's played strong safety. He's played corner. He's played edge rusher. Reminds me a lot what Jamie Collins did in college. Just moved all over the place. And this guy, I think this guy is going to be pretty good. And talking about how they just got DeAndre Hopkins, just what an absolute bonehead move by Bill O'Brien, man. Just embarrassing.
Yeah, I've got him taking Jeff Okudah just because I have him falling. Because I really think the Lions are just going to be idiots. So I've got him falling to 8 because I think I've heard the Panthers are higher on C.J. Henderson than Jeff Okudah because he's more athletic. So I have been taking Henderson, and I have Okudah going 8 for the Cardinals because they're just going to take the best player off the board at that point, someone that can help them out no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it where they take a corner. They lost James Bradbury, who was their only competent defensive back on the roster. And so, yeah, I could see a world where they take a DB. I just don't think Okudah is going to be there. Some crazy stuff would have to happen for that. I think that Simmons is going to – I mean, obviously he's not going to just complete the defense overnight, but he's going to help bring some youth to that defense. And, the Cardinals, who knows, with Cliff Kingsbury and now having DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray, Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald, Kenyon Drake, maybe they could put together a decent season.
Yeah, I feel like the NFC West is not – I don't think it's like set in stone in any way. I mean, I think the Seahawks are definitely the favorites, but
no, the 49ers.
Oh, that's what I meant. Sorry,
The Seahawks falling off this year too.
I can see the Seahawks falling off. Yeah, and then I mean, Cardinals could make a run.
The Cardinals overperformed last year.
Did they?
I would almost say they did. They went like 9-7 or something, didn't they?
The Cardinals?
Yeah. I don't think
Cardinals
so.
were like 6-10, though. Yeah.
Yeah, if they're the number 8 pick, they didn't win 9 games.
You're probably right.
I feel like the Cardinals could go 500, but I mean, it definitely will not be a 1-year process.
They were. I looked up Cardinals 2019 season and brought up the freaking baseball team.
I hate the Cardinals.
They were 5-10.
5-10-1. They tied. Yeah, they tied. I forgot about that.
Didn't they tie like the Lions?
They tied their first game of the season. Whoever that
I think it was the Lions.
Maybe, I don't remember.
And the Lions suck.
The Detroit Lions, man.
Detroit.
If you're a player going into tomorrow night, would you rather have your name called by the Detroit Lions or the Cleveland Browns?
I think the Browns.
It's close. Cleveland's kind of where all guys go to die, and Detroit is where all guys go to quit football early.
I go Cleveland for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd definitely rather have an apartment in Cleveland than in Detroit.
Yeah. There's a better city to live in.
For sure.
That's the only reason I'm going with that city.
Yeah.
Plus, you got some star power on your team, so you're relevant,
What do y'all think about the Browns' new uniforms? Have y'all seen that on Twitter?
I mean, it's
the same. It's like the same that they had in it's just the early 2010s. Yeah, it's not really. Yeah.
It's better than what they've been using the past couple of years.
Have y'all seen the Falcons' new uniforms?
They look like.
Oh my God! It's so
bad. They look like Adam Sandler's team.
Yeah, I know. Did y'all see that tweet that guy made? No, it was the Panthers that made that tweet, dude.
Yeah, the Panthers made it.
That was so funny.
I I don't like them or the Bucks new uniforms. They're both just like.
The Chargers uniforms are sick.
Well, yeah, the Chargers
Yeah.
just have.
Well, they made the powder blues like the main.
Yeah, they're sick, dude.
It's just their colorways are amazing.
Yeah.
And then they have the numbers on
The Patriots new uniform, it looks the exact same to me. Like there's
It
like
doesn't- I don't like it at
It's
all.
the same as their color rush. I like it.
it's okay, but
It's not really different.
without Tom Brady under center, does it really matter?
It's different enough. Well, that's the point. They changed it up. It's like a changing of the tide.
Yeah, it's a change, all right. They're relying on Jarrett Stidham to be their quarterback, and I just hope that does not happen.
They might play Julian Edelman in quarterback role. Got experience.
Yeah, Julian Edelman might throw in the towel at this point.
He might suit up the quarterback.
Yeah, man, the Patriots, what a mess right now. They've got to make something happen with the 23rd pick for sure.
Or they got to sign Cam Newton.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're waiting on. They can get him. They can get him for for almost nothing.
Why would you not take a chance on a former MVP? I mean,
Action.
he was an MVP.
Yeah, speaking of action, let's talk about Coach Doug's for a second. What are we thinking about Coach Doug's at USC?
I have a few qualms. My main issue is, I think if you're going from Florida State and you're carrying Florida State to what was it, the Orange Bowl?
Yeah, and they won.
I mean, why aren't you looking at head coaching gigs after that? Why are you looking at?
Well, he got like 9. He turned down like 90.
I don't know. I'm just looking for a head coaching gig there. I don't want to go be OC somewhere else. I want to be a man.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
But I guess if you go from a group of Power 5 OC to bigger Power 5 OC, then your first head coaching job would probably be a better job than if you went straight in head coaching.
Yeah.
That made no sense, but you get what I'm saying.
So moving on to the 9th pick, I think that the Jacksonville Jaguars are gonna build upon their horrible offense. Leonard Fournette's been getting 30 touches a game, and the dude's body is probably going to be trashed by about age 28. I got him taking CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. Webb, who do you have?
I've got him taking I have Isaiah Simmons going 9th.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the fact that Yannick Ngakoue is having a Twitter tirade with his
Yeah, he's beefing with
that. They're literally on Twitter battling it out.
I haven't seen this.
Yannick Ngakoue is like tagging the owner, like, I'm getting out of here, man. You're a joke. And then the owner's like the Khan or whatever his name is, like, you're really helping your case. That person really probably wants you right now. And so, I mean, first off, they're going to lose him, obviously.
So, has that been Yannick Ngakoue has been like nasty to Isaiah Simmons, or the other way around?
No, he's been to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh.
He's been there to his boss.
Dang.
And so he's going to be out of there. And I mean,
why?
First off, Isaiah Simmons is the best player you can draft at that point.
Yeah.
But also he's replacing that. So, I mean, I think it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, that's funny. I haven't seen this.
It's very foolish. I mean, he just wants out. I guess they think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. So speaking of Leonard Fournette, the 3 big names on the trade block right now: Leonard Fournette, Jamal Adams, and OBJ. Can y'all see any of those 3 guys maybe getting shipped off somewhere tomorrow night?
The only one I see.
OBJ.
Only one I see is Fournette, in my opinion.
Yeah, I only see Fournette. I think OBJ just talks a lot and he's going to stay. And I think Adams, they're going to try to keep Adams around because they're trying to build a young group of really good players in New York. So.
I think people have been saying Jamal Adams to the Cowboys is what I've been seeing. And that'd be crazy.
I think they're going to fight to keep him so hard because he's just too good.
He is so good, man.
I think the Cowboys are just going to draft a DB in the draft.
Yeah, I agree. So I could see Leonard Fournette getting traded, and I've been seeing possibilities of him going to the Steelers, but I think they're James Conner and Benny Snell are holding down the backfield fine.
I've seen talk about him going to the Bills, but I think the Bills are.
Oh yeah, I've seen that
Bills
too.
talk too.
I've seen that
I
too.
think
Who is their? Oh, they got Devin Singletary.
I think he's solid.
Dude, Devin Singletary's good.
I thought it was DJ.
Who?
I thought the first name was DJ.
No, it's Devin Singletary out of FAU.
Yeah, he had a good year though last year.
Yeah, he did. He went off in the Thanksgiving game. He had
He was splitting carries too with Frank Gore.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns on Thanksgiving.
Oh, Frank Gore.
So in transition at number 10, so I got the Browns. The Browns need to nail this one to get back on their feet. I've got them taking offensive tackle out of Louisville, Mekhi Becton. The guy is huge. He had an insane NFL combine. I think this is probably the most athletic offensive lineman in the draft.
Yeah, I've got him taking. I've got him taking Tristan Wirfs. I think he's the best because I already had Andrew Thomas going, and I think Wirfs is the second best prospect among offensive linemen. So
yeah, I think they'll definitely take an offensive lineman.
They need to fill that void.
No doubt about it.
And yeah, Baker Mayfield, man, is he a long-term quarterback in Cleveland, or are they going to have to start looking elsewhere?
It just depends on how he plays.
I think he'll get it together, honestly.
I think he will too.
I think
Fighting factor for him.
I think he had a down year, but I think he's got no doubt.
He's
I
just
feel like he could play well this year, and he could easily lock up.
He's got to keep his mouth shut.
Extension.
He's got to keep his mouth shut and just play.
I mean, he kind of doesn't talk that much anymore.
I don't know, man. I'm not a fan.
He's definitely a way different character than the way he was in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I would hope that he's learned that you can't talk like that if you're not going to back it up. So he's probably going to keep his mouth shut this year.
I hope so. I'm not a big fan of the Cleveland Browns locker room. They've got some head cases. They've got Baker, they've got OBJ, and they've got Kareem Hunt, who committed violent assault. Was it 3-4 years ago?
It was last year.
No, the allegations came out. The video was from 2 or 3 or 4 years ago.
I think it was from 2017.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Dude, that was so bad. I forgot about that. And that was almost a Ray Rice situation.
Oh yeah.
So that wraps up the top 10. So we're gonna stop the coverage there, and we're gonna post the rest of our first round mock draft on the Instagram and Twitter for Real Ball Talk, and we will be back on the air on Friday for the first round draft recap. We'll see y'all later.